I would define Artsy Bella as an art studio that started offering services. We were doing commercial art or commission art, as other people like to call it. So when I found out that I was a creative, I was doing visual art and dance and theater, but visual art was where I was the strongest. And while there was a lot of things to do in the community, it wasn't supported so much as something you could do as a career. It was kind of like, that's cute to do on the weekends. And so in September 2016, I quit my job and I became a full-time entrepreneur. I gave up all of my stuff, my car, my apartment, because I knew that I needed to be able to put all of the money that I was making or that I was going to make back into the business for it to grow. I had a conversation with God and I said, I think that idea I had at 17 to be a business owner and to be an artist, I think I want to go back to that. I took that last 50 bucks, I bought some art supplies, I did a mural for my friend, and I got all my friends together and we did a paint party at Cupcakery down the street, and the business has grown since then. A guy named George Greenwich, who works at Georgia State, he wanted me to come and do a public speaking engagement talking to some incoming students just about the opportunities there are at Georgia State and just my experience having been a student and an alumni of the school. Out of 100 applicants, they chose 21 businesses. Artsy Bella was one of them. And we received a grant, and we also received 9 months of workshops, training, mentorship. Just phenomenal to have been able to start a business in my community where I grew up, especially in East Point. They're so supportive of the arts. There are a lot of art organizations and artists flocking to this neighborhood. Black women in a lot of ways kind of suffer at the bottom of the totem pole, having to compete with men and having to compete with other races. I think that we finally just decided that the best thing we can do is to take matters into our own hands. I think that our confidence level is just going through the roof. And I think that when you see one queen win, the rest of us are like, oh, I can do that. Especially when you see somebody from your neighborhood who looks like you, who has a similar story to you, and you see them do the work and make it. I think it gives you that boost that, maybe I can do the same thing. And I'm not sure if I can, but I know I can try.